What's up, guys? Welcome back to another live call-in session with my friend, Mr. Jerry Norton, the genius, the flipping genius. What's up, Jerry?
Not much. Good to be here, RJ. This is like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, buddy.
With you.
So this is gonna be your first go around with Property Leads, right?
I'm trying to think if you and I have done them. I haven't. I've got one partner in one of my wholesale operations that uses them and has great success. And he's really learned. He was explaining to me how he sort of I don't want to say game the system, but he really understands how to bid up and down and move around things, and he puts a lot of effort into it. But we've gotten some great deals, so I'm excited to get more involved with their platform. So yeah, this will be fun.
It's going to be exciting for sure. So basically, because they consider us to be so good at what we do, Jerry, that you and I today got all of the leads that nobody wanted.
Oh, good.
These are the leads that nobody wanted to bid on. Nobody wants. And we're going to show people what you can do with those leads and how you can make money. I mean, listen, about a month ago, I went live by myself and I called these exact same leads, right? Not the exact same, but same type of leads. I talked to 6 sellers and got 4 contracts.
And they were the discounted secondary market leads that didn't sell the original go around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, some of those deals have already closed and funded. I mean,
why didn't they sell? Like, why didn't anybody buy them?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are teaching that, there needs to be certain criteria for leads, right? Certain population. They're not paying attention to like the tertiary markets just right outside. Like, so for example, we closed a deal in Iowa Park, Texas. I'd never done a deal in Iowa Park, Texas, but it was right outside of Wichita Falls. I mean, Wichita Falls is what we would consider a tertiary market. It's a good rental market, good flip market. So we were able to get buyers in there. We actually had multiple offers on that deal, and we were able to get it moved. And so sometimes it's also like,
is it because they were rural? Is that why?
Yeah, I mean, some of them, but I mean, I'm looking on here. We've got Birmingham, Alabama, College Station, Texas. That's where Texas A&M is. Naples, Florida. Another Naples, Florida. Lufkin, Texas wouldn't be terrible. I mean, so I think we're gonna be just fine. That's just off the first initial glance there. So basically, guys, for those of you that are new to tuning into this, Jerry and I are gonna go back and forth. Jerry's gonna go first. He's gonna dial until he gets a seller on the phone, and then once he gets one, once he's done, then I'll go until I get one. We'll do this for a couple of hours. So show us some love. Make sure you like the videos wherever you're tuning in. We appreciate you guys showing us some love. Jerry, do you have access to the leads there?
Let me check again real quick if that opened up for me. Yes, I do. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Okay.
So as you're going down the list there, you can pick whichever one you want for whatever reason. And then once you're done, just mark it either green or red.
Okay. So while I'm looking at this, RJ, maybe we share a few ideas here. This gives us county name, address, right? Phone number, email, square footage, all that. How long they've owned it. Now most of these say not applicable, so that must not be something they push on or whatever in the discovery. But repairs or maintenance needed, anyone living in the house, and reason for selling, time frame to sell. So reason for selling and time frame are probably 2 things to look at, right?
Yeah. So for me, I'm always looking for the reason for selling.
Yeah.
Right.
Reason for selling.
The motivation. I mean, we've got a bunch of emergency reasons: foreclosure, divorce, relocating.
I think I'm going to give a shot at the second one on the list because it's Grand Blanc. I used to live 20 minutes from there.
There you go.
Michigan. So I just, even though it says RJ on the reason, sell without a real estate agent in the next 60 days. So there may not be a lot of motivation there. They just want to avoid commissions, sounds like. But
One of the things I've found on that, Jerry, is also sometimes they put that because they don't necessarily want to disclose real motivation on just a website, right?
What else is going on? Okay, so I'm ready, RJ. I'll dial this number and let's see what happens.
Hi, I am a Google virtual assistant recording this call for the person you're trying to reach. Before I try to connect you, can I ask what you're calling about?
Purchase a house for sale on Nieper Street.
Okay, one last thing before I transfer you. Can I ask who I'm speaking to?
Jerry Norton.
Okay, let me try to get the person you're trying to reach on the line.
Hello?
Yes, hello. This is Jerry Norton calling about a property I believe you have for sale. Is this Terry Clymer?
Yes.
Okay. Calling about Nieper Street. You still looking to sell that property?
Yes.
Fantastic. What are you hoping to get for it?
I really don't know. Last year, there's houses going around here for 200 plus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a nice pole barn on, or a nice garage on the back. It's on a corner lot. We have custom cabinets. We got granite countertops, wood floors. It does need some redo on the paint. We were thinking about getting it painted, but we're hearing it's best just not even to do that anymore.
Okay. So when you say you're hearing, have you talked to a real estate agent about selling this?
Well, we've talked to two of them that are selling the houses in our neighborhood.
Okay,
just
good.
a little bit about it.
And what are they telling you to do?
They said I could sell it as is, and there's a lot of people that'll buy them as is.
Yeah, I mean.
So we're just curious what's out there, what we could do for it. We've already built another house, so we're having to come 2 hours away to just take care of the yard, and we're retired. We're over it.
Yeah, gotcha. So it's vacant right now?
Yes. We're trying to get it cleaned out. We have, my husband has a 54 Pontiac. He's trying to get out of the back garage. It's in pieces. He's redoing it.
Gotcha. Well, so let me tell you a little bit about what your options are if you're unfamiliar. Obviously, you've talked to a few agents, so you're getting an idea of what the retail market is. And so if you list with an agent, they're going to help you find that retail buyer. You're going to get maximum exposure. It's going to be all over the internet, Zillow, and all the websites, right? And that will attract the highest paying buyer. Now you'll have to pay commissions, obviously, but usually you'll still get the highest price for doing that. The downside is it takes longer. Usually you got to get it cleaned up, fix some things, have showings, have appraisals, inspections, all that. But
houses that are selling around here pretty quick. These two houses that are for sale just got sold within, one was a month and one was 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I know it's pretty quick.
So I'm sure you have a price in mind then, because you've done your homework. What do you think it'll sell for if you were to list it?
Well, we think we could get over 200 for it.
Okay.
Easily. Okay. We're in a great location, and it's got a corner lot. It's got the finished garage on the back.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it right now. I think you're probably right. I think if you went to a retail buyer, you could get that. The difference between that and somebody like me is, as an investor, you know, I have to get it at a pretty steep discount. The trade-off is I can pay you all cash and I can buy it as is, and we can get it done really quick. There's no commissions, there's no waiting. It's more of a speed and convenience thing. The trade-off, though, is that I would have to buy it at a pretty significant discount so that I have room to then do stuff to it, flip it, rent it, or whatever. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question I think you need to, that's the question. Like if you're holding out for 200 or anywhere near that, your best chance is list it with an agent and see where you end up. But if you're looking to get something done fast, I mean, that's me, but I would probably need to be, you know, down in the low hundreds for this to make sense for cash. See what I mean?
Somebody, he offered me 168
Okay.
for cash.
Yeah. And who was that? An investor?
One of you people that I found on Facebook.
Gotcha. Yeah. So see, so right there just shows you that, you know, the investor market's going to be quite a bit under what the retail market is.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you get into that situation where you need that speed and convenience, get it done fast, and you don't want to hassle with anything, don't want to deal with anything, because it is going to take time and it is going to be hassle to do the agent route, because that retail buyer is going to come with all of their things, right? They're going to need to get a loan usually. They're going to need to do appraisals and inspections and all that. Usually you have to do some repairs. So I'm just kind of laying out all your options so you can decide what's best for you. The right person for me typically is someone that has some sort of urgency going on and they need to get out of the property really quickly, and we can provide that solution. But again, I'm in the business of making money, so I got to buy it at a discount to be able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you call these cash buyer guys like me, just know that they're going to be down there in that range.
Well, the cash buyer, he was 168.
Yeah, but I mean, did he put it in writing? Did he put earnest money down? I mean, everybody throws numbers out. You know what I mean?
He just called me today.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so see, I
see somebody out here. I could have somebody within the next couple of days.
Okay.
Because I told him we don't even live here.
Yeah, and when I say low 100s, I'm just sort of spitballing without getting more information and so on. But so maybe I can come up off of that a little bit. But you know, nothing's real until it's in writing and they're willing to commit to the deal. So you know, when you're talking to people, people throw out numbers, so will agents. But what can they really do?
Right.
At the end of the day. So that's kind of what you want to look at. But if 168 and that guy's for real and they're really are a cash buyer and they're willing to put their money where their mouth is, then, you know, if you don't want to wait, I would go with that one.
Yeah. Well, we're just doing it today, and three people has got back with me, and I'm just curious what we could do without having to do anymore, but take everything out of the house.
You don't even have to do that. Like guys like me.
Well, my husband wants the car.
Okay. Well, if you want something, but I would say most investors like me, you don't have to do anything. Don't clean it out. Whatever you don't want, leave it there. We'll buy it as is. I mean, my job is to make it super easy for you. If I make you jump through hoops.
We got it pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. But my husband wants his car in the back garage. There's a top. There's a.
Yeah, I get it.
So he wants his car. He's working on that. Just give you a call back, or
yeah, for sure. And I can.
Do you guys come out and look at it?
Yeah, I mean, when we're ready to, or if you and I are talking on the same page with price, then definitely we'll come take a quick look at it. But there's not much I need to see, as long as there's nothing weird going on. I know my numbers and we can get something done.
Okay.
But yeah, typically we'll come take a look at it once we've agreed on price. We get an agreement in place. We take a look at it. As long as everything checks out, then we can close as fast as you want or whenever is convenient for you.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Good to know.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Good luck to you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Let me know if you need anything.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So the motivation there truly was they just want to sell without a real estate agent.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah. Do you take that long when you get somebody that's not motivated like that, or do you walk it through with them like that?
I thought you did a pretty decent job of like showing that you were ready to get off the phone, but still not being rude and answering questions. Funny enough, that got brought up today inside of TU's implementation call. It's like, how many leads are going to call you back if you're rude and you're just like, all right, well, I'm not the right fit for you. I'm out. See you later. Whereas what I felt like you did was you kind of educated as to why you were coming in. You never really lowballed her or anything. You just were like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be in the 200s. I'm going to be in the low 100s. If they were really willing to do 168, then where's their contract? Where's that in writing? You kind of threw the competition under the bus there a little bit, which I always like. And then I felt like you left with a good taste in her mouth. And if she doesn't get what she's desiring, I could see how you open that up for a callback. So I thought that was like perfect. The only reason why it probably went a little bit longer than what you wanted is because of her, not because of you.
Yeah, I sometimes battle that. Like in my mind, there's this thought going through my mind constantly, like time is money, get off the freaking phone, talk to a real motivated seller. But I think I agree with you. In time, when you have that attitude of like, I'm here to help and serve, and you educate the seller, give them their options, I kind of want to leave her off with like, you really need to understand what you're doing. You don't call these cash buyers thinking they're going to pay retail. You got to understand this. So many sellers, they just don't quite get what we do until we explain to them, look, there's a reason why we would be a solution, and there's a reason why we're not a solution. You need to decide where you're at with this. And then I think what it does is it ends up building trust and confidence. And then they end up calling you back if that is their situation.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. So I picked the South Carolina lead.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hot topic over in Mr. Jerry Norton's world. See if I can open up a can of worms over here to see how I can navigate this.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, Charlene, this is RJ Bates calling about your property there on West Hudson Street. Looked like you filled out a form on our website about selling that property. If you could, give me a call back at 817-915-6860. Thank you. Jerry, was there any feedback there?
No, it sounded pretty good.
Okay.
I do hear a little bit of something going on in the background maybe, but I don't know if that's you.
On the live stream, can y'all let me know in the chat, do y'all hear a little bit of like a high-pitched ring?
Which one you eyeing next?
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
I'm gonna turn me down a little bit. I called the Pennsylvania one. Let's go. So see this one right here in Indiana. I'm not going to call that because it's a 833 area code and there's no first and last name. I think that's a fake lead.
Which one?
This one in Greencastle, right above the South Carolina one. That it turned red.
Oh, okay. So why would that be a fake? Like what's going on there?
What's an 833 area code? That's like a spam, like a cold caller. I'm more just making an assumption there.
Okay.
Thank you for Case. How may I help you?
Hi, is Rebecca there?
Who is this?
This is RJ Bates. I was calling about your property there in Cherokee Village. Looked like you filled out a form.
You know, you're not very loud.
Oh, I'm very loud? Did you say I'm very loud?
No, you're not. I can't hear you. Either you've got a problem with your phone or you're talking too soft.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yes, it is.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I was calling about your property there in Cherokee Village. Looked like you had filled out a form on my website about selling that property. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know. I'm filling out these forms, but they're not going through because of I can't remember what it is. The last question on there, and I refuse to answer it.
Okay. Well, I don't know what other form. What was the last question?
Oh, I don't remember. I've had so many calls on this that it's unreal.
Okay, but you do want to sell the property?
Oh, yes.
Okay, how much do you want for it?
Well, I'd like to get 110, but I don't think I'm going to get it.
Why not?
And because I have some repairs that need to be made in the bathrooms.
Gotcha. Okay, well, what's going on? What do you mean by repairs? Is it like plumbing, cosmetic? What do you got going on there?
Well, in the half bath, the toilet was leaking, so I took the toilet out and pulled the floor up, and I was going to put in a epoxy floor, and then I had a sick spell and I couldn't do it.
Okay. So you said you're getting a lot of these calls.
Yeah.
How come nobody's bought the property?
I just did it today.
Oh, how many people have called you?
Oh, geez. A lot. I'm about ready to shut my phone down.
Well, we can end that real quick. You just sell it to me, and then you don't have to answer the phone the rest of the day.
You think so, huh?
Maybe. We're gonna have to figure it out. So you got some issues in the bathroom. What else is going on with the property?
My bedroom's kind of dirty.
Like,
that's it. If you go online and look up this address from about 3 years ago, you'll see all of the features on there. But since then, I replaced the hot water heater with a larger, more efficient one. I replaced the washer dryer with a smart washer dryer. I put in a garage door opener. So I made a couple of smart things on the house, not repairs, but additions that I thought would help me.
Gotcha. So you said, you want to sell it for 110. You got the issues with the bathroom, the bedroom's dirty. You made some repairs to it. Sounds like you've only owned it for a couple of years. What's got you looking to sell?
I'm 85.
It's too much for you, or you can't afford it, or what's going on?
No, the government took away my drugs.
Oh man. Like recently with the new election, or what's the deal?
Well, it wasn't recently. I was on oxycodone for 20 years because I had cancer and chemo. And from that, I got chemo-induced paraneoplastic polyneuropathy. And I've had it for 25 years. After the government took my oxycodone away, I went to kratom, but the kratom is messing with my stomach. So I'm throwing it up after I take the kratom.
Oh, geez.
So I've got to find something else. And my kids have decided that the only way they can help me is if I live close to them.
Where do you have to move to?
North Dakota.
I was just in North Dakota in January. I went to Fargo and Moorhead.
Yeah, my son and daughter live in Devil's Lake. I've got a granddaughter that lives in Grand Forks. And then I have a granddaughter that lives in Bismarck, Minnesota.
I drove up to Grand Forks to go see the University of North Dakota play a hockey game.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah, my son plays high-level hockey, so we went up there. I live in Fort Worth, Texas, but we went up there for a hockey tournament, and then on the Saturday, we went to Grand Forks and we watched. It was during the holiday break, so it was North Dakota was playing an exhibition against the University of Manitoba.
Well, yeah, I was going to say it's kind of early for hockey season, isn't it?
Well, that was back in January. So.
Oh, January. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I guess let me ask you this. You said you want 110. You don't think you're going to be able to get it. Is there a certain dollar amount that you need in your pocket to walk away?
100.
Well, I'm just saying in your pocket. Do you
100.
owe anything on it?
What?
Do you owe anything on it?
No.
So you want 100,000. That's what you need.
Yes.
All right. In regards to the kitchen, there's been no upgrades, right? Since when you bought it?
There was none needed.
Okay, understood. So what I'm trying to do here is look at the other properties in the area and see what they look like, right?
Yeah. Well, I know you're going to quote me the lowest ones you can find, but the ones comparable to this are sell from depending on the condition, and some of them are not in that good a condition, but they're from like 120 to 170.
Yeah. So funny, you said I was going to quote you the lowest. I actually wasn't. I was going to quote you the highest. 160 Hiawatha. I believe that's how you say your street name.
Yes.
It's listed on the market for 160. So I'm looking at the pictures of it right now.
That's my next door neighbor.
Yeah, so it's listed on the market right now for 160. Little cute little blue house across the street, I guess.
Oh no, that's not my neighbor. There's two Hiawathas here. There's Hiawatha Drive and Hiawatha Road or something like that.
This one is Drive. It's a little bit further north of you where this one is.
I'll have to drive by there. I think it's on a dead end.
Okay. So when I'm looking at the pictures of that one, because it's the same square footage as yours, it's the same size. They came in and they put like new flooring and new countertops and stuff like that. So the way I look at it is in order for me to buy this property and fix it up to sell, I would have to do those repairs. Like upgrade the kitchen and then obviously fix the bedroom and the bathroom and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to figure out what the property could be worth once I do that, because I'm an investor, right? And so that's why I was asking, what is the dollar amount you need to sell it and get up to North Dakota?
Well, let's put it this way. It is not negotiable.
So 100,000 is the lowest that you can go.
That is the lowest I will go. I've got a relative who is looking to. I told my sister she can live here if she takes care of it. She doesn't have to pay any rent or anything. So if I don't sell it, at least there'll be somebody here.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think realistically, like from an investor standpoint, and all of the people that are calling you right now, that's what they are, is investors. 100,000 would just be too much. So
Okay.
I think
Thank you.
I think realistically, oh, she just didn't even want to hear it. She gone.
Wow. Boy,
Yeah.
that was interesting.
Yeah, she turned sour on me real quick, didn't she?
That doesn't make a lot of sense. So I need 100, or I'm going to let someone live there for free and not get any money from it.
That is exactly what was said.
Those are
Hey,
tough.
man.
She's 85. She's addicted to painkillers. Like, what do you do? You know?
She bought it for 81. Yeah, she bought it for 81 3 years ago. So that's why I was assuming she owed something on it. But there you go. I said this earlier. I said, guys, me and Jerry are going to talk to people today that the price is going to be wrong, and you're going to see. We're going to go through the process. It's not always great. Now that we got that out of our system, Jerry, let's go close the deal.
Okay.
Enough of that.
Enough of that. I'm going to give a shot at this one down here in Fairview, Oklahoma, RJ, which is a super low dollar price point. But I kind of it's a tired landlord, I think, which I think are kind of fun to do. Non-performing tenant is what the notes say. ASAP.
So real quick, Matt asked, what were the numbers going to look like? So I was about to explain to her that if I gave her 100, and if everything went perfect as an investor, I'd make $5,000. The ARV on that was 160. Probably need 30,000 and work. That's being like super conservative. So I was going to try to get into education. It just didn't happen.
Yeah. That I did not think she would just hang up on you like that.
Well, honestly, I was about to tell her just go with a realtor, and she just hung up. That was shocking.
That shocked me because I thought you did a really good job making a connection with her. All right, ready for Oklahoma?
Let's do it.
Yes. Hi, is this Mary?
Yes.
Hi, Mary. My name's Jerry Norton. Calling you about a property I think you're looking to sell on 3rd Avenue.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I believe you filled out a form, and we got that and calling to see how I can help you. What are you hoping to get for that property?
Let's see here. Is that well, I'd like to get 59. So, I've listed it for rent.
It looks like you listed it for 59.
Well, I did. I had it also listed to sell, and then I listed it for rent also.
Yeah. So let me ask you, you had it at 59, then 54, then looks like you went up, then back down.
During the holidays, but I've done a lot to it.
Okay.
I just, well, when it's empty, I just keep doing more work to it.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I go up on the price. And that's why I just decided, if I can't sell it for whatever, then I should just take it off the market and rent it. Because before I had been renting it for $750.
Yeah, I'm just trying to follow you here. It did not sell at 49. You took it off the market on 531, so about a week ago.
Yeah, I did, because the people that actually wanted to buy it because it's a FFA loan or some kind of loan, they wanted me to put screens on it, and now I've put the screens on it since then.
Okay.
But I just told them, if you're not happy with what I have, and you think you need screens and all that stuff that you just keep wanting more and more and more, and you're just not happy with what you see. What you see is what you get, and if you're not happy with it, I tell them you can go to the abstract building and sign off.
Yeah.
Because we already had an agreement, and I just told them, if you're not happy and you just keep on adding stupid little things to the list, then I said, just
just go sign off. Go find something else because there's nothing else that is as nice as mine for that price range.
Okay.
That's exactly what I told them. And so
I mean, it looks rental ready. I mean, I'm looking at your pictures here from your previous listing. It looks pretty clean and ready to go. The challenge is as you know, values in this neighborhood are pretty low, right? So like, you're not really going to try to flip something like this, which is the challenge you're running into. It's probably best just as a rental. You know, like I can pay all cash and get the deal done for you, but you know, I'm not going to pay retail. You understand that, right? You're an investor. Yeah. What's your walk away number? Like if I could close in 2-3 weeks. You make me
an offer and then we'll go from there. How about that?
Okay. 10,000.
All right, then.
Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like
my turn would be 49 and that's it.
But Mary, it didn't sell online for 49.
Okay, well,
it didn't sell for.
Then I'm gonna rent it. But
yeah. Okay. All right. Yep. Good luck.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. So RJ, I do tired landlords a little differently. Like I feel a little justified to be aggressive somewhat. Just because I mean, like, why I shouldn't have to explain to you stuff. But maybe she wasn't a real landlord. I'm kind of gathering she wasn't a real landlord.
Yeah. Well, and on that, like you kept going back to the facts, which are it didn't sell for the price that you're wanting.
And you would have had commissions, and you had a retail buyer that was beating you up on inspection. So why in the world would an investor pay a retail number that could not sell? So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, rent it out then.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Lufkin, Texas.
Okay.
I like the motivation of emergency reasons. That's always, one of my favorite.
Yeah.
So you got
Dolores Reynolds is not available. The mailbox is full and cannot accept any.
All right. Jerry's got that magic phone over there today.
I know, everybody's answering.
I know. I'm going to go the one right above it. Foreclosure.
Here we go.
Please leave your message for 81.
All right. Emergency reasons. Stick with it. Cindy. Ooh. Let's try again.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Nope.
Your call has been forwarded to an auto.
Well, that was a fun little game of phone tag. She answered and then hung up.
Oh, really?
First dial. Are you wanting that Naples, Florida that you're on?
I just kind of planning ahead. You can take it.
Here we go. night.
I just like that it said emergency reasons and ASAP on the time frame.
Yeah.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. Please leave a message after the tone.
Oh boy. Real life right here. This is the one. Buying an Aggie's house.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
I will answer this. The reason why I'm not leaving any voicemails is because I have new technology and I don't know how to stop the recording from saying the seller's phone number. And I don't want the recording to get taken down from YouTube for telling people's private information. If I were doing actual acquisitions, then I would be leaving a voicemail on every single one of these. I left one on the first one because it wasn't, but these ones right here, it's going to say their numbers, and I don't know how to mute it yet. I was prepared for all the new technology except for that part. All right. Let's see.
Missouri.
Hello, you're Eddie's phone. If it's important, please leave a voicemail. If not, I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Hey, Eddie, this is RJ Bates calling about your property there in Verona. Look like you filled out a form on my website about selling that property. If you could, give me a call back at 817-915-6860. Thank you. I'm speaking this one into existence. Come on now. This is the one. They want to sell me this house for $10,000. I'm going to lock it up for $5,000. RJ special.
Are you double dialing, triple dialing, RJ?
I don't really like doing that. I can try out this one. I want this one.
Your call has been forwarded to an.
I am positive my phone number is not spam. I'm actually using my cell phone today. It's dialed out five times all year. 4 of them were to Jerry.
Your call has been forwarded to an.
So you would hit this again?
So I'll double dial, triple dial. And then the other thing too, RJ, that I did not realize, but if you text the number first, then it'll show up when you call as possibly RJ Bates.
Right.
So that's something we started doing on our team is send a text, then call. And the text can just say, it's RJ, I'm about to call you about your property for sale.
Right.
But kind of hard to do when you're doing this. It takes an extra step, you know.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voicemail.
All right. And in regards to the comment about don't use property leads, man, this is just part of the business right here.
It's going to happen no matter what you do.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I called these leads, I went 4 for 6.
Your call has been forwarded.
I mean, it's just part of the business. This is why we do this on repeat, not just once. To show you guys, hey, there's good and there's bad to this.
Yeah, it's part of the challenge with going live.
Your call has been forwarded.
Shit fire. Come on now.
Hello.
Hi, is Malika there?
Who's calling?
Hi, Malika. This is RJ Bates. I was calling about your property there on Garden Lane. Looked like you had filled out a form on my website about selling that property. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. How much were you looking to get for that?
Well, they did a estimate, so I'm waiting to hear back from them about that.
Who is them? What do you mean?
I think it was Trilia.
Hold on a second.
They're doing an estimate of how much it would be, the cost of the house. And I have a realtor who came out. The realtor came out to look at it. It was like, she said 110.
Okay, so the realtor came out to tell you what they would list it for?
Yeah.
And then who was the other person?
Trilia. I did one through Trilia, but I haven't heard anything through my email yet from them.
Okay. And when you filled out the form, you said this was an inheritance. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm over the property. So we just decided to sell it because I already have a home.
Gotcha. All right, let me look here real quick. How long has the property been vacant at this point?
It's been vacant since September.
How would you rate the condition? Does it need work or is it in pretty decent condition?
No, it's in good condition. It's just that it was my parents' home and they both passed last year. My dad passed last in September and we were staying down there, but I just can't I live 100 miles from the property and I keep going down there like every week to maintain the grass, clean up and stuff. It's just a hassle. So I live in Phoenix City and the house is in Dothan, Alabama. It's like 100 miles away.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes a little bit more sense now. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
So what's your desired outcome here? Are you wanting to list it on the MLS with a realtor and get as much money as possible? Are you wanting to move quickly? Kind of if you could pick and choose your
I do
path.
want to move quickly. I think I sold my last house. It was a cash offer, and he was like, I think he was in the same ballpark as the realtor. It wasn't too much off. So either or, I'm just weighing out the options to see what was offered.
Gotcha. So you're saying the last one, the realtor came out, told you an amount, and then an investor came out and gave you pretty close. So you're kind of hoping for the same thing here?
Well, no, Trillia didn't give me a price yet, and it was only 110 was only through like the realtor that sold us the place. She came back out and said 110. I don't, so I don't know.
Okay. And then in regards to like Trulia coming out, no matter what, you're going to wait to see what they're willing to offer you on the property, right?
No, not really. I'm looking to really sell it within the next month because, like I said, it's cost efficient for me because I'm handling two properties. Even though my house is paid for, both of them are paid for. It's just a lot of hassle, like the maintenance, going down there, checking on the place, the utility. It's a lot.
Understood. So again, going back to like your desired outcome here, it sounds like you want to get it done quickly.
Yes.
Are you willing, in order to do it quickly, are you willing to discount the price? Because just looking at the numbers right now, I don't think I'm going to be close to the 110.
Okay, what do you estimate it to be?
Well, that's where I had to get a little bit more information because I know you said it was like lived in, but it does need some repairs. So the way I look at it is I try to figure out what could the property be worth when it's completely fixed up. And then obviously I have to subtract the repairs, and then I want to make profit on that. So that's kind of, It's just math at that point. So you said it does need some repairs. I mean, is it like a full cosmetic update?
No. The house doesn't need any repairs. My father took great care of the house. When I say go and do the lawn, that's what we keep up the lawn, keep it in that condition. Going and do the lawn and the cleaning every week, to clean out the house every week. I don't want it to get cobwebs and stuff like that. So we clean it out. But as far as work done to it, it doesn't need any work done to it. It's in good condition. Everything is frankly new. He got everything. Frankly, the roof was done about 2 years ago. He had the pest control, the yard control, everything come out. Everything was done for the house. I think it has a new washer in it. The refrigerator, I was gonna discard that because it's like an old refrigerator. They didn't want to part with that. But everything else is frankly new in it.
So I'm looking at a property right now that's sold in the area for a significantly higher amount than what we're talking about. So don't freak out when I ask you some questions here. But
is it the one next door to it?
No. It's on a different street. It's on Edgewood.
Because I know Mr. Bill's for sale as well.
I got you. This property has like granite countertops, new like luxury vinyl flooring in it that looks like wood, freshly painted. So in comparison to your like stainless steel appliances, updated bathrooms. So in comparison, does your property have like granite countertops and new flooring?
No.
Okay. So it's in comparison to that, it's a little bit outdated, but it's still very livable.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So let me go down a little bit in price point and see what these other ones that sold in like the 120, 130 range look like. Because if I don't have to do anything, then I can do some different math that way.
So this part you might have faced. We should just make a compromise. No, that was paying her all these years, and I don't know if what she's saying about the will is true or not, but if you wanted her to have something, it's worth talking about.
All right. The realtor that you spoke to said they could sell it for 110, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you want me to call the plumber?
Did they give you comps that they were basing that off of, like comparable properties?
I think the one next door, I think she did his as well, and his was like 119, 118. I think his is a little smaller than my mom's. Mr. Bill's is a little smaller than my mom's place. So she was just, that's the realtor that sold them the house.
Gotcha. Because I don't see any actual sold properties in the past. Going back a year.
Oh no, the people that live on that block been living there for years. There's no proper. I think it's one that was for rent, but I think or for sale, but she took it off. I know it's one next door, and I believe Mr. Bill's is either 1113 or 1118. That's for sale next door. That's the one. That's 118,000.
So that's all.
Gotcha. So if you were to sell it on the market at 110, I mean, you're probably going to be walking away somewhere close to 100,000 after the commissions, closing costs, and all that stuff.
You really want to do this?
I mean, there's two different ways that I could do it. I mean, realistically, I'm probably going to need to be in the 70s for sure.
You know that's not my call. You want to be a pawn? Here's a bucket of bullshit. You go right ahead, but you can't expect me for that.
It seemed like you did my ponytail lopsided. It seemed like you did my ponytail lopsided.
I don't know if we're having the most dramatic silence or you didn't hear me.
Oh, I thought you were still doing your word. Yeah, I heard you say somewhere in the 70s.
Oh, okay. I thought there for a second we were just having the most awkward stare down of all time. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
No, I mean that I would need to be somewhere in the 70s.
Oh, okay. I think that's too low. I don't even think they bought it for that amount.
What? When you say they, who are you referring to?
My parents.
Gotcha. So, kind of walk me through like the thought process that I'm missing here, because you want to move it quickly, right? So you've got to sell it to an investor, because that's what we do, is we offer that convenience. But why and how can I spend more money on the house? Because I'm not seeing how I can do that.
Just tell me that he was going to take my car and
I don't know. I'm just saying that 70 that's low. That's on the low end.
So, right, but I'm also looking at like a property that sold for 165. I mean, it's everything is new.
Yeah, That's why it was 165. But in that whole area of Garden Lane, those houses are priced at 115 and above. I think the highest is 120.
Okay, so say I sold it for 120.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do something to it to get it to sell for 120 because your realtor's saying it has to be 10 right now. So say
he got it at 110. Because there's no refrigerator. Like I said, the refrigerator is coming out. It's a new washer and dryer set in there that's staying. You have an outside porch area in the big backyard. It's a separate screened-in porch on the back. With that totally screened in. It has a stove downstairs. A gas stove downstairs. That is the gas and electric home. It has 3 bedrooms, a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen.
Right, but I'm saying, like, in order for me to sell it for $120,000, I would have to do something to it to increase the value besides just a refrigerator. So probably paint touch-ups, little miscellaneous things. So say I have to do, I don't know, $10,000 worth of work. Does that sound like a fair number?
You probably have to paint if you want to change the walls. But like I said, painting would be the most you'll do for that property.
Okay. So painting a 1,500 square foot house, I mean, that gets relatively pricey pretty quick. And then, you know, the refrigerator. So let's just say it's $7,500, which I've done a lot of houses. $7,500 it goes very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm selling it for 120. I put 7,500 into it. You said 70 is too low. Say I gave you 90. Okay. If I were to do all of that and everything goes perfect, I sell it for 120. I pay the closing costs with you. I pay the closing costs when I sell it. I pay the realtors. I only spend $7,500 and I sell it for exactly 120. I would make $8,100. I mean, to invest $100,000, and if everything goes perfect, to only make $8,000. I mean, that's why I'm saying it. It just doesn't make sense from an investor standpoint, and that's what every investor's going to look at.
Yeah.
So, is there a number that you have that's like this is the walkaway number that I would sell quickly for?
Let me discuss it with my husband and see what he thinks about it.
Okay. Normally when I get told that means we're never going to talk again, which I'm okay with. It's not
that. It's just that I want to make sure, like you saying 70 in the low 70s.
Well, no, I'm saying, is there a number that you have in mind? Because I have other tools in my tool belt, but I don't know what your number is. I gave you my number and you told me what someone else's number is, but you haven't told me what your number is.
I don't think I would go less than 90.
90?
Mm-mm.
So the most, if everything goes perfect, I mean, if you want that, I mean, you should just list with the realtor because then you would get 100.
Yeah. So I'll see what the other company says and talk to the realtor again, and see what, see what's out there.
Because, I mean, if you really want to get rid of it and not drive the 100 miles to go mow the yard, then there's other things that we could do. But with that comes a price tag. It's a give and a take, right? I mean, if you want me to do the work and take that on, then I got to get paid. Otherwise, then you do it, and that's where you get the more money.
Okay. All right. I'll just see, what the options are from others and see who has the best offer, the cash offer, and then the realtor's offer.
I'll be honest with you, if anyone's willing to offer you more than 90, you should ask them for a non-refundable earnest money deposit. Make sure that it's put in writing. If anyone mentions an equity protection program or a white glove treatment, understand that they're doing a novation. They're going to list it on the MLS and sell it with a realtor. So just some heads up there. So if any of those situations happen and you're ready to do business that'll shoot you straight, give me a call back. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Tough one.
Oh, man.
Is she not on title? I thought it was an inheritance, but then she said I got to check with my parents. I was a little confused there.
I think she said, I don't think my parents would be happy with that or something.
Oh, her parents in heaven.
Yeah, her parents are the ones that passed away. She inherited it from them.
That's what I thought.
And honestly, I was going to pitch her a novation. That's why I brought the 90 up. I brought the 90 up to pitch a novation.
Yeah.
But then she blew that up when she said 90 was the lowest she would go.
Gotcha. All right, want to try another one?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Let's get it. We got to do better than what we've done so far.
Yeah. I don't think we've never not gotten contracts, so let's go.
By the way, I got 3 missed calls during that call.
Oh, shoot. They're calling you back.
I know. It was brutal. I was like, I want to talk to these people.
That's funny. Okay, I'm going to call Joyce here in, where is this? Oklahoma.
Yes, please leave a message. This is Joyce Boo.
Okay, I texted her right before we called too, just because I was ready to. I'll dial it again real quick, but that was a long ring.
Yes, please leave a message. This is Joyce.
Okay, I'm going to go up to Washington, Missouri. Ever hear of that place?
We've done a deal in Washington, Missouri.
Okay.
Funny enough. Pretty sure it took us about 60 days to dispo it, but we did it.
Where's that at? Where's it near?
I don't know. Home of the Ozarks, probably.
It is.
Hi, Christina. My name is Jerry. I believe you've got a property you're looking to sell on 8th Street. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, good. Let's see what we can do here. What are you hoping to get for it?
At least, I don't want to do any lower than 215.
215. Let's take a look here. Looks like you recently bought it. Is that right? A couple years ago, anyway.
A couple years ago.
Okay. Looks nice if these are the pictures from, when you purchased it.
Yes.
Okay. Has anything changed much from this condition?
No.
All right. Why are you looking to sell so soon?
Moved in with my boyfriend. And was going to rent to my son, but that has changed.
Okay. Yeah, I would highly recommend not doing that. Because how do you evict your son when he doesn't pay rent, right? And you and I both know he's going to have a good reason not to pay rent.
Exactly. Right.
That's how it goes, right? Don't ask me how I know that. Okay. Well, I'm looking at this and it looks really nice. I guess I'm just wondering, why aren't you listing this with a real estate agent?
I mean, I can.
Okay.
Like, I done something like this. I used Open Door.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A couple years back, and it's just like fast, painless. We didn't have to worry about showings and this and that. So I guess I was just looking for like less headache.
Yeah.
But I can definitely list with a realtor.
Well, you're so right. I mean, that's the benefit that we provide as investors, is just all that convenience and speed and hassle-free. The difference is between me and most investors and Open Door is, well, first of all, Open Door is not paying as much as they used to, right? Like a couple of years ago during the heyday, they paid almost full value for properties.
Yeah. I told them I got from them what I would have listed.
Yeah.
The realtor for.
I remember those days because I had to compete with them as an investor, and I could never come close to paying what they always paid. But you know, they had deep pockets, and you know, who knows where they're getting their money from, Wall Street or whatever. But they're not around as much. I mean, they're still around, and I still think they pay. How come you haven't gone to them with this one? Are they not in this market?
Yeah, no, they're not.
Yeah, they're only in a handful of markets. Yep. Well, you know, I would be a great buyer to compete with that same idea there of like fast, convenient, easy, close quick, all those things that you want and like. But I would probably still need to be at a discount off of where you want to be, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So are you willing to wait and do all the things to get it sold the traditional way? If that's the case, I would go that route. But if you really are looking to move it quick, I can give you that cash number, but I'm going to need a deal because, you know, I got to go in and probably do a few things. I would probably paint it and maybe carpet and not much because it looks really clean. Cabinets look good. I'd probably put new countertops on because those look like they're like Formica.
Yes.
You know, things like that. So even a house like this, I would probably spend $25,000, $30,000 the time, capital. I pay commissions and closing fees when I resell it, you know, so it all sort of adds up. But this is what we do, and we can make it great for you, a great experience for you. But, you know, I am going to need to be down below where you want to be.
Okay. And what price do you think?
You told me 215, right?
Yes.
Is that what you are hoping to walk away with? Is that your, like, do you owe on this still?
Yes. But I don't owe near what I paid for it.
Okay, that's good. So what would you walk away with if you got 215 with after you paid off the mortgage, closing fees, commissions? What do you think that number would look like? Well, I guess there wouldn't be commissions if you sold it for 215 to me, but after your mortgage, at least, what would it look like?
I maybe have 25.
Okay, so you don't have a whole lot of room anyway.
No.
To play around. I mean, yeah, if you actually listed it and got that, after commissions, you'd have not much left, right?
Correct.
Tell me about your loan. I'm just curious, is that because you got that in 22? Was that one of the really good interest rates, or was that after the interest rates went up?
When the interest rates went up.
Okay, is it 5-6% somewhere in there?
Yes.
Okay, darn, it looks like you just barely missed the 3% rates.
Yes, I did.
Do you remember those days?
Hold on, I'm really sorry. Yeah, Lumi, come on. Lumi, pop. Lumi, yeah. Okay, sorry.
You're all right. I get it. I got dogs too. Okay, so let me take a look here. Let me just see if I can get my head around your neighborhood. Stay on with me here. It just won't take very long. I'm pretty fast at this. Okay. You're 1,200 square feet, right?
I'm gonna say it's more than that, but
That's what they're calling it on the old listing.
Because yeah, with the basement, the only thing it's missing is baseboards and flooring.
In the basement. Okay. Okay. All right. I mean, there's some decent sold homes in your neighborhood. Cute house you got.
Thank you.
Take it your boyfriend's house is better though.
Yeah, we just got this one. We were looking for property.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're out here in the sticks.
You like that better than in the neighborhoods?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, given I don't think you're too far off. I don't think we're that far off where you're at.
Okay.
What do you need to walk away with? I know 25 is 25 like a hard number you got to have, or is there? I want to work with you and get something done here. We're just a little bit off.
I would definitely like 25.
Can you go any lower off that number?
I will look just to get that ballpark number of what I still owe, but it definitely would not be much lower than that.
Okay. Well, I got another idea. I'm going to see if I can explain this to you without making it sound confusing. But if I pay cash and you pay off the mortgage, you walk away with, let's say, $25,000, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that would mean I've got to come up with all the cash on the 215 number, which I can, but I have investors and they have expectations and it costs money, and to borrow the money, there's cost of capital, right? What if I could get you the 25,000 and just take over your loan? You net the same, but then I only have to come out of pocket 25,000, and essentially we both accomplish the same thing. I get the property, you get 25,000, but rather than pay off your loan, I just take it over. They call that subject to the financing, and we do this quite a bit, and it's a very common process. So it allows me to pay more because I don't have to come up with as much capital. When you're all cash, you got to get a pretty steep discount for it to make sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So,
Is that one?
No. So is that something you would consider?
Yes, that is something I would consider.
Okay. I would have to get my head around your loan because it is a little bit higher interest rate. Do you know what your monthly payment is?
$1,400.
No, not you. $1,400 your payment. Okay. Do you have any idea? Do you know what rents are going over there, off the top of your head? Not to your son, because I know he'd want the family discount.
Yeah, no. I gave the number to my son for the family discount. He looked into it.
Okay.
And for a 3 to 4 bedroom house, granted, he was getting it fully furnished on top of it, so he was getting a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
But it is about $2,200 to $2,300.
Okay. And that $1,400 is that with taxes and insurance or just the mortgage payment?
That's taxes and everything.
Okay, so that's everything escrowed in.
Correct.
$1,400, and the rents are up in the 22 range. So it's certainly, that certainly can cash flow. That would be something we would definitely consider doing. Okay. Well, if you're open to doing that, then I think we could probably get that done at your number, at that 215 number. And again, just to make sure you're clear on how that all works, is we would take over the payment. I would be fully responsible for making that payment each and every month. We actually use a third-party servicing company that pays it. That way you make sure you know it's getting paid all the time, every month. And then we take full responsibility for the property. We go in and do the improvements, rent it out, do all the things. So it's as if you sold it, but just to be clear, the loan stays in place. We just take it over. Does that make sense?
So still on it?
Correct. Your name is still on the loan. Yes. But yeah. So the way that this is a lower risk to you is once I invest in the deal by giving you $25,000 and I go in and do any improvements on it, I've now got skin in the game, right? So your fear doing something like this would be, well, what if they stop making the payment and give the property back to me, or I got to take it back, or whatever? Well, that risk is mitigated when I invest capital into the project, meaning I'm not going to put $50,000 into a home and then not make it win. You know, that's too much money to invest to then not see it through. You know what I mean? Because that's why I'm investing in the project. So I'm going to make sure that my $50,000 in cash to get into the deal is giving me a return on my investment. So that's why I got to make sure it's a win and it works. But that's your safety net, is that I'm putting skin in the game to get into the deal.
Okay.
Do you have any questions around that?
No. I'm just gonna have to.
Let me see Frenchie. Okay, so yeah, I know it's a little unique. We call it a rate of financing, but it's a very common strategy in your situation. And the reason is you're probably going to have a hard time getting an investor to pay cash, because they're going to want to be like me. I really want to be down under 200, probably 175 for it to really make sense for cash as an investor. If you go retail, you're going to be trying to sell it with an agent, and you might end up netting there anyway or below. Or, you know, if things slow down and you can't quite get your number, you might end up walking away, selling it, but walking away with not much equity, not much cash. So on these low equity situations like this one, this is actually a really great solution as long as it makes sense. Like, you're not trying to buy another property, you're moving in with your boyfriend. So it's not like you need the credit or the debt to income ratio or anything. You know what I mean? So this would be a great solution for your situation if you're comfortable with it. That's all.
Okay. Let me talk to him about it. And can I give you a call back?
Yeah, sure. And this is your husband, you said? I mean, not your husband, your boyfriend. Okay. Yeah. Is it possible that we could, because I'll be able to explain it to him probably better than you'll be able to explain it to him.
Okay. Yeah, you can speak to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to here from home, so anytime.
Okay, 5 year time. Okay. So let's do that. Let's could I call you back around that time? And then we'll get him on the phone. We'll walk him through it. Basically, we'll have the same conversation, but I'll try to help him get his head around it as well. Makes sense.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
All right.
Sounds good. Okay. We'll talk soon. All right.
So she wants to talk in an hour and 15.
Is that when that is?
Yeah. That's Missouri, right?
Yeah, I like this house. There's 3 comps in her neighborhood last couple months. When I say her neighborhood, literally like within a block or two, that are identical to her, same condition, 300, 250, and 289.
There you
the
go.
300, the 300's a bricker, so I wouldn't go off of that one. Hers is not. But this 289 and this 250 are her identical house. Actually, the 250's 1,000 square feet. She's 1,200. The 289 is her exact house. Garage, same, 1,200 square feet, and same condition. You know, clean, nice, but not totally updated.
All right. So the first lead that I called me back. We're going to see if this works. I'm going to listen to the voicemail on here.
Yes, this is Charlene Hamilton returning your call about my property at 114 West Pleasant Street in Dillon, South Carolina. I don't know if you'd be interested since it is in South Carolina, but if you are, I would love to discuss property and
Yeah. Like this, baby.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, is Charlene there?
Yes, this is she.
Hey, Charlene, this is RJ Bates. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Well, I'm ready to buy your house, I guess.
I'm ready to sell it too. Now this thunderstorms too. You can have it all.
You're just the person I wanted to talk to. All right. How much you looking to get for it?
20,000.
All right. What's got you looking to sell this?
It's an old house. It was my daddy's house, and we moved to the countryside house because it's all one bedroom, one bath, and I've got 5. So we just decided to get a bigger house and move to the country.
All right.
So it was my daddy's house. I ain't gonna lie, it needs a lot of work.
Needs a lot of work, huh?
Yeah.
How'd you
But
come?
now we put a new tin roof on it when Matthew come through about six or 7 years ago. I can't remember when Matthew come through. We put a blue tin roof on it. Well, we went in my husband's 401k and got the money for that. And then about 4.5 years ago, we actually the heat and cooling unit might still be under warranty.
All right. So a couple questions. How'd you come up with the price of 20?
Me and my husband just figuring out the land and just getting back what we put in with the tin roof that unit. That's all.
Gotcha.
And we ain't trying to be greedy. We just really want with the tea truth.
How many square feet is the house itself? You there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. We got a bad storm coming through.
I got you. How many square feet is the actual house?
The actual house, I don't know. I just know probably the lot is about a quarter of an acre.
I know the lot is 99 to 100 square feet. Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. Man, oh man. No. Brother, what are the chances that there's a storm coming through? You're muted.
Is that a deal, RJ?
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get her to come down some. Tori, this is in Dillon, South Carolina. Tori gonna dispo this for me.
Can you get her back? Can you get her back on?
Yeah, I'm gonna get her back on. I was hoping she would call me.
Yeah.
She sounds sweet as all get out, man. I want to do business with her.
Yeah, she does.
Hello?
All right.
Okay.
We got disconnected.
Yeah, I told you this weather's kicking out here.
No. All right. So 20,000 sounds a little pricey. I want to do this deal, but you got any wiggle in your worm?
Hello.
Oh man, we got a horrible connection. If can you hear me? Charlene? Charlene, you there?
Can you?
I can barely hear you. Oh man. Must be a rager of a storm over there.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Let me stand right here at the front door.
All right, stand right there. I said 20,000 seems a little pricey if it needs a ton of work. You got any wiggle in your worm?
Yeah. Can you go between about 13?
I wanted you to say 10.
Well, how about if I talk to my husband about the 10 and call you back tomorrow? He's still at work.
You got to talk to him if I say 13?
Yeah, if you say 13, I'll go ahead and do it.
All right. Give me.
Because I don't want to get in a fuss with my husband. I had to see you last night. I can't deal with all that today.
You can't deal with all that. All right.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll do. I want to explain how this works. Okay.
Okay.
Who has to sign on it? Is it just you?
No, it's me and him.
Okay. So both of y'all have to sign it.
Right.
Okay. So I send the contract. Once you sign the contract, we're going to come out. We're going to do our inspection and make sure that everything works for us on our end because we're investors. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'd tell you, like, yes, I can move forward at 13, or I come back and say, Charlene, I need this at 10. And you can either say no,
yeah, or nay,
or yes.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
That works for me.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you over a contract. I got your email as firstname.lastname1@icloud.com. Is that correct?
That's it.
What is your husband's email? Okay. So I'm going to send both to you.
That's fine.
Okay. So basically you just have to sign it twice. Once for you, once for him. Okay.
No problem.
Okay. All right, Charlene. Well, I will get that sent over to you here shortly. And then as far as getting in the property, is it unlocked? Did we have to meet?
Locked.
It's locked.
It's
would
locked.
we have to meet you out there, or what's the?
Yes.
How would we do that?
Yes. Meet me out there. Me or my husband one.
How far away are you?
I'm about 20 minutes from my house.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's not that far. I thought it was. Yeah, okay. Cool.
No.
Perfect.
No, I just moved to the country.
All right. Good deal. So what I'll do is I'll get this sent over. Once you sign it tomorrow, we'll call you and we'll say, hey, let's figure out the time for us to get out there, and we'll go from there. Okay, Charlene?
That'll work.
Thank you,
have
ma'am.
a good night, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, please, God, give me 5,000 more Charlenes to deal with in my life. I'll be so rich. Oh, what a glory.
Now we're cooking, RJ. Now we're cooking.
Right? All right. So now we got to figure out how to make that deal work.
That's a low dollar.
Like, what's the ARV on that?
15,000.
I mean, we've got as high as 150 in the area.
Okay.
120, 125. We've got as low as one property sold for 2,000 and then sold for 15 again. One sold for 8, and then it goes up to the 30s, 40s, 50s. So
who knows?
I mean, I don't know the square foot of the house.
Yeah.
We don't really know anything. This is one of those, like, we're getting it for 13. I've already set her up for going down on price. We get out there, we find out what we got to do, and we listen. I can do business with that person right there.
Yeah, I think the key here that everyone's got to take away from this is when you have limited information or you have any uncertainty whatsoever, set the right expectation. Explain to the seller, look, we're going to walk this property, and if everything checks out, we're good. But if something's going on here that makes this not work, I'm going to talk to you about it, and we're going to revisit this. And it's a very conversation.
One question, 20 down to 13. I said I wanted 10. She said, I'll do 10, but I got to talk to my husband. And then I said, okay, do you have to talk to your husband to do 13? No. All right, let's get it.
Now, why do you think RJ did that? You know, time kills all deals. You know, you wait till tomorrow and someone else calls her and, you know, she changes her mind, whatever. Like, that's not worth $3,000.
Yeah.
Not
I
worth
mean, it is what it is on that type of stuff. Like when I see a deal and I'm like, I'm not going to lose it on $3,000 or trying to be stubborn on it, because honestly, I don't know if I need the 3,000 or not.
Right.
So like Tyler asked, is Dispo going to be mad at me for having zero info? We'll get the info when we do the recon here. You live for that conversation. We literally dial all day to talk to Charlene.
That call right there is worth 8 hours of no one answering and complicated conversations. Like that's what it's all about right there.
Yeah, I love it. You want to keep going or you?
Yeah, let's keep going. I got one on my thing here in Palestine, Texas. Where's that, RJ?
That's good. That would be real good.
Not that it matters. I would call it anyway, but.
Right.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice.
Let's do it again.
It's Chris.
Yeah, hello. Is this Christopher?
It is.
Chris, hi. My name's Jerry Norton. Calling about your property. I think you're looking to sell on US 84.
Yeah, can I call you right back?
Sure.
Yeah, just about to be calling, but you're going to be busy in like, say, 20 minutes.
I'll watch for your call. Text me if I don't answer because I'm on a lot of calls, but I definitely want to talk to you. All right. Thank you, sir. So this guy, RJ, is this one here that says emergency reasons, relocating ASAP on the time. He is behind on mortgage. It says he would like to sell or something or someone to take over mortgage. So, he's probably upside down situation, but.
I love the fact that he's saying he wants someone to take over his mortgage.
Yeah, like he's offering sub 2. That's never usually happens that way, but.
I've watched this guy named Pace Morby, and I want you to do what he says to do.
All right. That doesn't count for me, does it?
No, that does not count. No.
Okay, let's see. We could try this one here in Omaha, Texas. Let's try this one. It says ASAP, so doesn't get any better than that. All right, here we go. By the way, that last one, he answered on the double dial. Did you notice that? What? Oh, he answered and then hung up.
I had that on one too.
Sounded like he was in his car, so maybe it dropped. Let's try him again. Yes, hello. Is this Jeffrey? Sounds like you're driving. It sounds like you're driving right now. All right. Got to go down there and kick some butt then, sounds like. Hey, I'm calling you about your property you're looking to sell on Farm to Market Road. You're looking to sell that? All right. I was just going to ask you what you want to sell it for. Sorry. RJ, I can't find this one. You mind trying to look for it? I can't find it.
Which one?
Farm to market.
Okay. I got it.
Okay. A manufactured home? Okay.
Jerry, we can't hear.
Me neither. I can't hear him either. He's going on and on about I don't know what.
How much does he want?
Talking about trailers, manufactured homes, his dad. Did you say you found it online somewhere?
I found it on Privy, but there's nothing. It doesn't give me any info about it.
Yeah.
Is there a manufactured home on it?
I think so. So, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, dude, he was asking 444,000 2 years ago.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you, so I'm also struggling to follow everything you're telling me here. Let me just recap what I think I heard. You recently put a manufactured home on the land on this. Is it 6871 Farm to Market Road? Is that the road, or is that the address?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and is that some acreage, or how much land is that?
4 acres.
4 acres. Okay, so you got 4 acres. You put a manufactured home on that land. Now, did you attach it to the foundation, or did you just set it there? Okay, so you, and when you put it there, how long ago was it that you put the home on it?
We got the place about 6 or 7 years, I guess. But it wasn't nothing got done with it for years because the shit got never developed.
Was the manufactured home new or used that you put on it?
Oh, it's brand new.
Okay, so you put a new one on it. And tell me what, if I were to give you cash to buy that 4 acre lot with the manufactured home and anything else that's on there, what are you hoping to get for it? Like, what's your price to walk away from that project?
Well, I know the land's worth 30.
The land's worth 30. Okay.
And, you know, it's on the general. John is in, John on the, he goes to church with me, guys. I built tree stands and stuff, welding and stuff,
Now we're talking about somebody who goes to church with and tree stands. Can you hear him, RJ, at all, what he's saying?
Nothing.
Sorry, guys. He's just going on and on. I got him on mute right now. He's going on and on about.
In a 5 mile radius,
yeah,
there's a ton of comps, but nothing like what no manufactured homes. I'm sure there are.
He said land's 30 for 4 acres. He said the manufactured home's new. What's the number I want to throw at him? 50, 70?
So you've got older manufactured home on 1 acre was like 62.
Okay, let's go with that. So I'm going to have to cut this guy off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to.
What was his name again?
Jeffrey.
So Jeffrey, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I mean, I'm just looking here with the land and with the manufactured home on there. You know, I'm looking at some other homes in the area. I'm probably going to need to be like around 50,000 to get something done here for cash. That would do it. That would be perfect. Okay. All right. Well then, yeah. Now, since I don't have a whole lot of information about it, the next thing that we'll do is my assistant's going to email you. Do you have email? Okay, we're gonna email you an agreement that you'll need to approve at that price of 50. And then I'm going to need to send out my team to come out to the property and just do a quick walkthrough. Is it vacant right now, or is someone living there? Okay, so you got someone there. We'll just need to meet, have them let us inside. We'll coordinate all this here after, but we'll need to meet, come take a look at it, and just make sure everything pencils. As long as it does, then we move forward to a closing, and then and that's it. Then we fund and close the deal, and you get the cash, and everybody wins. How's that sound? Okay. Oh, we'll do it right away. Like, we'll get an agreement over to you today. You'll DocuSign that, like you'll digital sign it in your email when you open it up right on your computer. And then we'll have that done. And then in the next couple of days, we'll get someone out there. I'll coordinate with you on a time, but we'll get someone out there and they'll just need to meet, walk through the property for a few minutes, and that's it. Pretty quick, pretty simple. If something's, pardon? Oh, no, then we have to close. So then we schedule a closing with the title company, and that usually takes a couple weeks. So then a couple weeks later, we close and you get funded. Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, we'll typically do earnest money. No, you don't have to. Well, hold on a second. You're selling it with the trailer, right? With the manufactured home? Okay, so you said move the trailer. Are you talking about a different trailer? Your shed. Okay, you have a 10 by 20 shed that you want to move off the property. Oh, it's your dad's. Okay, that's fine. Is there a lot of debris on the property? Like, is there a lot of stuff there? Okay, yeah. Get a neighborhood party. Everybody comes with their tractors and trailers, and that's great. But we'll have a couple weeks after our walkthrough for you to do all that before we close and fund. So you'll have a little bit of time to do that. But don't start moving stuff till after we do our walkthrough, okay? Because I got to do the walkthrough to just make sure this all works. Because you know, I want to make sure that there's a house there and everything's what we're saying it is. Okay. Yeah. I'll get the we'll get the agreement over, and when you get back home, we'll want you to check your email. We'll follow up with you and make sure that you got it. We'll walk you through that process. So don't worry about that. Okay, this is my cell phone. Send me. I would love when you got home, unless you have it on your phone. Do you have a couple pictures of like standing at the driveway looking at the house? Okay. All right. Well, send me to this number I called you from. Save my number and text me those pictures, you know, as soon as we hang up, okay? Yeah. All right. Okay. Sounds good. My name's Jerry. All right, Jeff. Yep. Nice meeting you. We'll talk soon. All right. Thank you. Okay. Bye. I don't know. I don't know, RJ, about that one. Oh, wait. Not listen to a word this guy said. Not a word. Like, he just was going on, and I just tuned right out. I was talking to you. I was.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what you just contracted.
I don't either.
Because on Zillow it says 3 years ago that was listed for $444,000.
I don't know what just happened right now.
I feel like the address is incorrect or something.
He's like 50. That'll work. Okay. Oh man, but again, I did the same thing you did, RJ, which is when you have to really, like, I told him again, hey, we're gonna don't start moving your stuff.
I know, right? He's like, I'm gonna go move the shed. You're like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, my neighbor's got tractors. This is what he said. My neighbors have tractors. We'll move everything. Like, okay, but just wait a minute.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm imagining he said it was a new trailer, a new manufactured home that he put on a couple years ago. So, I mean, you can't. Hopefully, he didn't beat the hell out of that thing too bad in a couple years.
Yeah, hopefully not. Just want to settle the score here real quick. Infinite Flow Investments, that brings the score to 1-1. If you're keeping score, we're not actually keeping score, but the actual score is 1-1.
I like that. If that ends up working out, I mean, because I'd be getting that at 10% down on the down payment, and it's clean, you know, rents. If she's right on rents, anyway, we'll if we're still going here, we'll call that one back if we have time.
Yeah, I'm gonna call here real quick, see if I can get somebody. I'm also curious to see how fast Charlene signs that contract. It just got sent, so.
RJ, can you ask me what you found at like the official address on that? Because I could not find it, but I don't know if I was looking it up wrong on that.
I found it as the Farm to Market Road 144.
Oh, okay. Because there's a number in front of that on the.
Yeah, it's a number in front and behind.
Did you find it on all of that?
Yeah.
How come
it's on Zillow? It's on. I found it on Privy. I didn't try PropStream because PropStream normally struggles. But yeah, you got to make sure you have the 6871 and the 144.
Okay. All right.
All right. Did you call this? Did you call the emergency reasons in Naples, Florida?
I thought you called and no one answered.
I did not call that.
Oh, you
didn't call that one. No, I'm going to call it.
Good. Call that one. That one looks good.
I left that one for you when I was going on my voicemail streak.
I just started so that way when you were done, I knew what one I was going to try to go for.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Oh, it's okay.
Never mind.
Yeah. Let's try again. That was on D&D.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Everyone's saying your offer was too high on that, Jerry.
I know.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, though, he couldn't even get the information pulled up in front of him. I mean, dude, do you care if I share what I'm seeing comps wise?
Sure, I don't care.
I mean, this is what I was looking at. $259, 68, 395, 1.6, 248, 150, 305, 62. Not all of those are mobile homes, but you got a pending at 140, and then your actives.
What are what are lot sizes on those? Okay, there's
you have more land than everybody.
4 acres. From 4 acres.
You're similar to that. Right, you have almost more acres than everybody. I mean,
if it's 4 acres and that mobile home is in decent shape for 50 grand, that's a deal.
Agreed.
That's a deal.
That's all I said. The only thing that I could compare this to is a 1 acre, like 1978 mobile home that sold for 62. So if you have a relatively new mobile home on 4 acres for 50.
It's funny how people say this. I've heard you get criticism over this. Like you said, Jerry, 60 is a number. I just went in at 50 thinking he would say that's too low and I'd come up to 60 where you said I should be. But since he just took it, everybody assumes that I overshot. But that's not necessarily the case. He might just be happy to take 50.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
now, I could have said 40 and he said yes. So maybe I left money on the table. But at the same time, at some point, you know this happens, right? You give your number, and they just take it.
Yeah, there's also going to be a seller that you talk to one day in the future that you should offer them 150, and they say, "I'll take 125," and it all comes out in the wash. You know, it's like I don't know. I'd rather say 50 and get it and be a great deal than to offer 40 and then to screw it up because I was trying to get 10,000 more.
And if we get out there and it should be 20, then I'll tell the guy, look, I can't do 50. It's got to be 20. You know, like
yeah.
Yeah. 50.
Your call has been forwarded to an.
You know what's funny, Jerry? I was just thinking about Charlene and the thunderstorms. Several years ago, I was live, and I was on the phone with a seller, and I was explaining to her seller financing, and we were having an incredible conversation. And she goes, "I have to get off the phone now." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Did something happen?" And she goes, "There is a massive thunderstorm coming through right now, and I need to go underground." And I was like, "Oh, I'm okay. Yes, that sounds very important. Go do that."
Yeah.
And then like that night, it was like F5 tornado right where we were talking. And it was like such a surreal moment because I never talked to her again.
Wow.
Like, I just thought about that situation. Like, I don't know what happened.
I had this was one of the calls I did with you a long time ago where she says, she's like, I gotta go, I'm driving. And I said, well, be careful, but stay on the phone with me. Let's keep talking. And she did. And the comment section was like, dude, Jerry, like they're trying to tell you they can't talk while they're driving.
Right.
I'm like, I can talk, stick shift, and eat Taco Bell all at the same time. Like, come on. with 10 kids in the car. Like, come on, if you could talk while you're on you could talk while you're on the phone. Let's be safe.
All right, let's get one more on the phone here. Let's see what we do. Birmingham, Alabama. I just did a video about Birmingham, Alabama. You guys do stuff in Alabama?
Not like actively or intentionally, but I got no problem with it.
Not intentionally. Every now and then we accidentally do it.
Student in Detroit that does a lot, don't you?
Hey, is Thomas there?
Speaking.
Hey, Thomas, this is RJ Bates calling about your property there on Martinwood Drive. Looked like you had filled out a form on my website about selling that property. Is that correct?
Yeah, I filled out a lot of forms.
What's that?
Yeah, I filled out a lot of forms, and I've been having a lot of people call.
Ah, well, let's make this the last one. How much you want for it?
Well, I've been getting offers under 100, but the market is 130, but I know I won't get that. So what I said, I was going to just let people come and, you know, give me their name, phone number, and offer, and flip the page and take the highest offer.
Okay. So you're just going to kind of do like a mass showing with all the forms you filled out?
Yeah, I've had about 20 people call, you know, but this has been going on since last year, but I never knew when I was going to move. But now I got, I'm relocating, and I have a townhouse being renovated, and I'm going to rent. So I'll be moving the 1st of next month. So I'm actually starting to, you know, set up appointments to show the place.
Okay. I mean, do you want to go through that process? Is that the most important thing to you, is just getting as much money as possible?
Well, what do you mean? As far as putting it on the market?
Well, no, I mean, some people say, I don't want to deal with 20, 30 people coming through my house and making offers and all that. I mean, if I could just get X amount, I'd be happy and I'd sell the house.
Well, the highest offer I had was 119 about last year sometime, but then I wasn't really ready. I submitted to them again, and they dropped it down to 109, and they're coming to look at it next week. And I had another offer for 116. Well, first the guy offered 75 to 80. I told him no way. And 3 weeks later, he offered 116, but I didn't know it because I wouldn't even answer his, you know, emails or anything. And somebody sent me an email and told me, look, he guy sent another offer. So I sent him an email, a text letting him know I will be selling, you know, selling the property. But I hadn't heard from him.
Right, but that's what I'm asking. I mean, is that the most, like, is the most important thing to you to just get as much money as possible?
Well, of course.
Well, then why not just list it with a realtor and avoid all this?
Okay, the reason for that is because this thing happened so fast. And with a realtor, I have to do, you know, either share the closing costs or pay the closing costs. They're going to want like this repaired, and then it takes about 45 days to close. I don't have time for that, so cash offers is a better way for me.
So you want to avoid closing costs, you want to avoid commissions, and you want it to go fast.
Right.
Right. Well, that comes, well, convenience comes with a price tag, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, what if you want the convenience and you want to go with investors? I mean, what's the price tag that you want for the house?
I'd really like to get about 120.
So if I said I'd give you 120 right now, what would you do?
Well, I'd take it.
Interesting. All right. So 120, but a guy offered you 116 and you didn't take it. Why didn't you take the 116?
Well, because I wasn't ready to sell. I didn't know when I was going to be moving, because property where I'm moving in Louisiana is sky high. So I was waiting on some more money, something I had invested in to pay for a $300,000 house. Okay. But what happened, my brother called me and told me about this townhouse I can rent. I said, okay, well, I'll sell my house and rent that for a year, and then I'll buy my house. So this came all of a sudden. So this changes everything. But that guy, I sent him a text and told him I'm ready to sell, but he never responded. The only response I got from him was him trying to sell me another house here in Alabama. But I told him I'm moving out of state, and I just haven't heard from him again, you know.
Do you need the money from this to move to Louisiana?
Well, I need the money from this to retire, because when I move, I don't want to work. I'm 68 years old. I'm not looking for another job. I use this, I get Social Security. So with selling the house and my Social Security, I'll be fine.
All right. So you don't want to deal with realtors. You don't want to deal with closing costs, inspection items, and all that. Your house, has anybody come and seen it? Like, I mean, is it in good condition?
Yeah, the guy that offered, the guy that came, I only showed it one time, where I got another person coming to look at it next week, the one that offered me $109,000. I set an appointment next week for them. Another guy called and said, look, same thing you said, what are you asking? I said, well, it's going to start at 100. He said, well, if I gave you 100,000, do we have a deal? And I told him, no. I said, that's where it's going to start. So I didn't hear from him until yesterday. He asked me, when am I going to do the open house? So I told him, you know, I'm starting now. If he wanted to come Saturday, he could. But the guy that offered the 116, he was the only one that I let see it, because he said he flip houses. He offered me 75 to 80. I told him, no way. And 3 weeks later, he upped it to 116. He looked at everything. So he's the only one that saw the house. The house is in good shape and needs minor repairs. And it has, if you can pull it up online, it has no updates as far as the kitchen and bathroom. You know, that would probably have to be remodeled. Other than that, it just needs minor cosmetic.
I'm looking at it right now.
It has a metal roof. It's all brick. It has a lot of land it sits on. I just put a 50-gallon commercial hot water heater, because my home warranty didn't honor the contract, so I had to, you know, pay that out of pocket. Now let me ask you this: when y'all do this, does leaving the appliance in help with the offer?
Leaving the appliances is kind of typical protocol.
Okay.
It's normally that's just expected to be a part of the purchase.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So you need the money from this in order to retire. So you wouldn't want to go to Louisiana until the house was closed and funded and you had the money, because then you're going to retire, correct?
Right.
Okay, that kind of eliminates one of my thoughts, because I was thinking I could give you a little bit more money. I mean, it does sound like money's important to you.
It is, because like I say, I'm not going, I have a twin brother out there, okay? He's the one told me about the townhouse. He works at Walmart part-time and he loves it. He said he could stay there another 5 years. We 68 years old. My sister-in-law asked me, she said, brother-in-law, what you going to do when you come here? I say, nothing. I'm not working anymore. I'm 68. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my life. My family's there. I got 3 kids, 7 grandkids, 4 great-grands. I just want to retire and enjoy my family.
All right. After hearing everything that you got to say, Thomas, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I have different ways that I could help you out, but I don't think I'm the best person to help you.
Okay.
I think I could do what's called a novation to give you more money, but I don't think it suits your retirement needs and the flow of which the money, it wouldn't really be a benefit for you outside of the fact that I would take some headache away. But it sounds like you don't mind that dealing with the cash offers. You've already got several cash offers coming in pretty close to your price. And like you said, you've got enough interest. I think you could probably get pretty close to that 120 number. I think if you had told me like, hey, I want to get to Louisiana as quickly as possible, and I don't care when the money comes in, but if I could get you more money, that could be a potential. But realistically, I think you're in a pretty good spot, and I don't want to mess anything up there because I'm not as comfortable with the numbers as maybe some of those other investors were coming in at. So I don't think I'm the best person to help you on this one. I think you're in a pretty good spot, and it sounds like you already know exactly the path that you want. What I would offer you is hey, if you get people out there and there's a bunch of people that start lowballing you and whatnot, you can absolutely save my number. You can reach back out to me and I could let you know how I could help you out. But right now, I think you're in a pretty good spot, and I think you should explore those offers that are coming in that 116, 120 range.
Well, what is this thing you're talking about doing?
So essentially it would be, I would list the property on the MLS, and I would make money for dealing with the headache. So for example, if you wanted to go to Louisiana, you could go ahead and go, and then I would list on the MLS. I would deal with the repairs, the negotiations, the showings, and all of that. And then I would pay all of that, and then I would make a spread, and then you would get your number. So instead of giving you 120, maybe we could get it to where you could walk away with maybe 130, 135, 140. It just depends. We would have to really do some due diligence to figure out what that number would be. So you might be able to make a little bit more money, but it takes more time. And normally it's better if like you're not there living in the property, because that's one of the benefits is that, hey, I'm dealing with the showings. But if you're living in the property and you need the money to retire and all that, kind of eliminate some of the benefits in my perspective.
Okay, couple of questions for you. You say it takes longer. How much longer do you think? You know, I know you've probably been in this business for years, and so what is the average time you talking about? So
it's just based off of days on market in the area. So I could just tell you, looking inside of a quarter mile, this is how many days it took houses to sell in your neighborhood. 74, 35, 138, 32, 57, 40, 32, 68, 120, 22, 26. So it's probably 45 to 60 days, somewhere in that range.
Okay, so I wouldn't get anything for 2 months.
Correct.
Well, you're not talking about a whole lot of time. Now, my thing is, how would you be able to get 130?
Well, normally what we do is we come in and we try to clean it up a little bit. And that's what I'm saying. That's where the due diligence comes in. I'm looking at the numbers right now. And so I'm looking at this on the retail market. So what we would want to do is we would try to sell this to some sort of owner occupant that's getting a property in a neighborhood where properties could sell for a lot more for cheaper, but the property is just not fixed up all the way, right? So that's the benefit for the person buying this. And so that's what I'm saying. We would have to see, what does my realtor feel like this could sell for? What would we have to do anything to achieve that? Is it just a simple cleaning, good photos, maybe some landscape, or does it need a little bit of paint or touch-ups or something like that? If we do that, then we list it. But again, that all those numbers become variables, right? Because it's all kind of guesswork at that point. So that's what I'm saying. If you've got a firm 120 in your hands, that feels like a pretty decent number to me.
No, I don't have a firm 120. See, this is the deal. This is how this thing works, okay? Well, from my understanding, okay? Now, the person that offered the 109, that's after they look at it. They may come in and say, well, you know what? We're not going to be able to do 109, but because they say it's some kind of 5% fee, which it was the only company that ever said anything about a fee.
What is their company name?
Open Door.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. They are going to hit you with plenty of fees. That 109 number is not even remotely realistic. I've sold multiple houses to Open Door. If they're offering you 109, is that before or after the 5%?
That's I think that comes off of the 109.
Oh yeah. So then the 5% there is 5,500. So you're really at 103. And then they're going to come out, they're going to inspect the property, and then they're going to hit you for repairs. You would probably end up netting somewhere in the $80,000 to $85,000 range, I would assume. But that's a very specific type of buyer, and they're called an iBuyer. So like OfferPad is similar to them, Open Door. There's other ones out there, but so that I thought you were dealing with someone else like me, who is just
where the other ones are like you.
Okay.
But with you saying that, okay, what is your name again?
My name is RJ Bates.
RJ Bates. And what company? Because did I submit that today?
I can look up exactly when you submitted it. My company name is Titanium Investments. You submitted that today at 1:16.
Wow, I did that right after I got off. Because when I look at my phone, I get more commercials on my phone with people, I will buy your house.
Right. It's because now your algorithm knows that you need to sell a house. So you're going to get the ads for everybody.
That's what that is. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, from talking to you, I like the sound of that 130, and waiting 2 months and getting more. That sounds like something I would be interested in.
Okay, so what we would have to do is I would need some sort of commitment, because I cannot waste my team's time going down this path. So I don't need like a signed contract, but I'm looking at the pictures. I can have my realtor look at this and give me an idea of what she feels like this could sell for on the market. And so once I get that number back, at that point in time, it's just simple math. And then I can come back and I can say, hey, this is what we can do the novation for. But the issue with doing a novation, I'm telling you, I just want you to be very clear. If we list this on the market and it does not sell for the number that we want, then we have to talk about what that net number to you is, because the realtor still has to get paid. I still have to get paid. And then you have to get your money. So it is like a relationship that we get into. That's all I'm saying. Realistically, if you want the security of a firm number, then these other offers are better for you. If you are willing to play the lottery with me, then that's what we can do with the novation. Because you might get more money. I might make some money. And we might not. We might do all of that. And then we get our teeth kicked in by owner occupants that say, I don't like pink tile in my bathroom. I don't like the wood trim around the doors. And then the price comes down. If that's the highest prices we get, that's what we get. That's what I'm saying. I don't know that I'm the best solution for you.
Okay.
But if you want to go that way, then you might end up netting more money. So it's more about like, what is the most important thing for you? Is it security of a number? It sounded to me like you said you wanted the most money possible. The most money possible would be just you hiring the realtor, you listening on the MLS and finding out what happens. If you don't want to deal with that, then you can hire someone like me, and we will go into it together, and we can do the novation. But we're playing a game. That's what we're doing. I cannot predict what Susie Homebuyer wants in a house or not. She might look at your house and say, I love it. This is exactly what I want. I want that big backyard, and I want the pretty birds coming in my bird bath. I don't know.
Okay. How long have you been in business?
I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, and I've been doing nothing but real estate for the past 10 years.
Okay. So, well, you say she would have more of an idea of what it would sell for than you think you would, huh?
Well, she's the licensed agent that I would be hiring, because I have to hire a licensed agent to do this. So I would have to ask her, what does she feel comfortable with attempting to get on the open market? I can't go to, I mean, I could tell her to list it for whatever. You know, but at the end of the day, I want to get her opinion on what actually she thinks it's going to sell for. I'm looking at comps right now. I mean, we've got properties of the same square footage going as high as, let me look at this. There's one. Where was it at? We're in the low 200s in certain areas. So we might be able to get you close to that 130 number, maybe. I just don't know what the inside condition looks like compared to these pictures I'm looking at. You said it's pretty close to it?
Yeah, the only thing, the tile in the kitchen has to be redone, because when I first bought the house, there was a leak under the sink. And, you know, I didn't know about it. I came home and there was water on the floor, and I mopped it up, not wondering where it came from. And then about 3 days later, it was again. So they had to cut that part of the tile up, and I just never redid it, because I said I didn't know what kind of tile. I was going to put another bathroom on the master bedroom, and the other bedroom had a walk-in closet, because I was thinking of staying here. But like I say, my family's in Louisiana, and I've gotten older. So far as what you're looking at, everything is basically the same except that tile. Now the house is carpeted, but it has good wood floors under the carpet.
Gotcha. Do you own this free and clear?
No, there's a mortgage on it.
How much do you owe on it?
About 21.
Oh, that's nothing. Huh. You said you've got a walkthrough tomorrow? Someone's coming to see it?
No, I work tomorrow. I texted the guy and told him if he wanted the guy that offered 100, I told him he can come Saturday But from what you're telling me about Open Door, I'll probably go ahead and just cancel that one Tuesday. And, you know, because from what you told me with them, I don't think I want to deal with them. Because when they said a 5% fee, that kind of sent up a red flag. I said, wait a minute, this is the first company that said it would be a fee.
Well, that's because they're the biggest company. I mean, they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. They buy houses all over the United States at a very rapid rate. They can normally pay more for houses than we can. What they can't do is be creative. So see, that's why like they would never want to do a novation with you. They would never want to talk about seller finance or anything like that. These are all things that me and you can do to try to put more money in your pocket. Like I was just thinking, you owe $21,000. There's another play here where it's like I could take over the $21,000. You could seller finance the rest, and you could get paid over the course of time. There's so many different things that you and I could come up with to do. To get you more money. Open Door would never be able to do that. They just come out, and honestly, you're dealing with a machine. You're not dealing with humans. So when that guy comes out, like for example, do you know about your plumbing? Do you have cast iron plumbing?
I don't know. I have no idea.
If you have cast iron plumbing, it's an instant termination. They wouldn't even buy your house.
Oh, okay.
Ask me how I know that. Because I tried to sell them a house with cast iron plumbing.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to deal with them.
Yeah, I mean, they're just ruthless. I mean, they come out and they say, oh, no, we found one thing that we don't like, and so it's a termination. So, I mean, it is what it is with doing business with them. Now, dealing with the smaller guys like us, I mean, it just comes down to what's most important to you and who you feel most comfortable with. I mean, again, that guy that's offering you $100,000, he's probably going to come out, and to some degree, he's probably going to try to negotiate you down to somewhere in the mid-90s. I probably don't blame him.
He already did. His offer, his first offer was $80,000.
Oh yeah, well, he offered you $100 to get in the door, and he's going to try to get you down in the 90s and sign a contract. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do. I'm not going to lie to you, Thomas. I would do the same thing.
But I told him, I say, well, actually, I'm not going to take anything under 100,000. I say it's going to have to start at 100. So he asked me, he said, so if I could get you 100,000, do we have a deal? And so it took me a while to get back to him because I still work and I still, you know, have things to do. So I sent him a text. No, he had texted me and asked me when is the open house. So I told him he could come Saturday, and but I haven't heard from him yet because we go a couple of days without, you know, answering each other.
What's his name? What's his name?
I think his first name is Alan.
I don't know him. All right.
I get so many people. I just keep it in my text, you know. Now, I did have a realtor call me last year, and she asked me if I, you know, wanted her to list it. But like I said, when these cash offers start coming, I said, you know what, that'll work better for me because, you know, when I get ready to move, I don't want to have to wait 45 days. I want to just, you know, and they say that no repairs. I don't even have to clean it out. I say that would work better for me moving 5.5 hours away, you know?
Well, Thomas, why don't we do this? Why don't you have your showing on Saturday? And in the meantime, why don't I talk to my real estate agent? Why don't I talk to some more people on my team about this and see what I can come up with? And then on Monday, we just follow up with you and we let you know, like, hey, based off of our conversations with our realtors and stuff, if we were to do novation, this is what the numbers would look like. If we were to do cash, this is what the numbers would look like. And we just touch base on Monday. Does that work?
Yeah, but call me Monday evening because I'm off on Tuesdays and Saturdays, but I get off early. So Monday, I should be home about 4 o'clock.
Okay. All right, then we will call you Monday evening, and we'll go over all the different options that we can provide for you, and we'll see if we can work something out. Okay?
Okay, sounds great. In the meantime, I'll cancel open door.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, if we got nothing out of that, we got one less deal for open door.
That's worth it right there.
Yeah, right. Would you let everybody know that that's a possum?
It's a possum.
I mean, I've never seen more questions about what animal that was. Everyone's like, is it a ferret? What is it? It's clearly a possum. All right, what's the story with Scrunchy over here?
Scrunchy? Well, so we're on a farm, right? And so this kind of stuff is like pretty normal. And so we rescued it. It got lost from its mama or whatever. And we've had it ever since. And it is the most adorable thing. It's held 24/7 by these kids. So it's extremely tame, it's super friendly. It snuggles you. It'll fall asleep. It'll fall asleep with its legs up in the air, like in your lap. You'll pet it. It's crazy.
Yeah, so cute.
It eats dog food. It eats bananas. It eats anything. It's a scavenger.
It eats cicadas. I've seen cicadas.
It eats them, crunches them. It holds it with his hands and crunches them. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's awesome. The plan was I failed. I failed today. I was supposed to bring my pet rabbit, and you were supposed to bring your pet possum. We're gonna have to do that. Like we both. Yeah. Although, unfortunately, my pet rabbit Cloak, I don't know if she's okay with me holding her for that long. I can hold her, like but then eventually she's kind of like, all right, I want to get on the ground.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't want to be held for too long.
So it starts kicking and scratching.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Jay, this guy texted me back that he's free. Do you got to run? Do you want to
go ahead? Do it.
All right. His name's Chris. Let's see what he's got to say. This is the one where he wanted someone to take over his payments.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what he says.
What's your name?
Hey, you guys gotta be quiet, okay? Can't talk.
This is Chris.
Chris, hi, it's Jerry.
Hey, what's going on, Jerry?
Not much. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Good. Well, glad we're able to connect. I'm looking here at your property. If I have the right one up here on this US Highway 84, is it? It looks like you just had this listed, or just took it down. Is that right?
Yeah, just took it down.
Okay. Any idea why it didn't sell?
It didn't sell. So I'm going to go ahead and take it in my own hand. I've been dealing with wholesalers just trying to get out from under it for like the longest. Hold on, just give me 2 seconds. 2 minutes. Hold on.
Okay. Those dang wholesalers. While we're waiting for him to come back, he had this listed at $697,500. Removed it on June 3rd. Looks like he's been trying to sell this since, well, let's see how far back he goes. February of 24. He's been.
Yeah, no. So that couple of wholesalers that kind of strung me along.
Okay.
They came up on a sell date. It's rural, so it's gonna take a minute.
It's what did you say? I'm sorry.
It's rural. It's kind of 2.5. I found out as well. 2.5 hours from Dallas, 2.5 hours from Houston. Kind of like in a weird little bubble. So it will sell. It just takes a minute.
It's out there.
It's a lot of land too. So the wholesalers found that out, and like I said, we got to right up to the sell date 3 different times, and then they just go sit and wait so much time. Just on my own,
I'm getting way more traction than they ever did. So looking at pretty much at this point, it's taking so damn long. I saw the writing on the wall. But I lost equity in that. So long story short, don't mind. So are you wanting to get on, or you said you're dealing with a bunch of houses? I think the reason I'm asking is personally, that's one thing, but it's trying to look and get out.
Yeah. No, I'm an investor. We flip, we hold, and sometimes we wholesale too. The difference between, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Is that on my end or your end? Okay. Yeah, I wholesale quite a bit too, but the difference is I'm totally upfront about what's going on and communicate clearly and don't string people along. So I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. That's tough when that happens. But help me get my head around this. So you had it listed. You were getting offers from wholesalers. Is that when it was online? Because that was when it was listed. I mean, okay. But you were also listed at the same time.
Yeah. And they just ended up just listing it when they couldn't find anybody.
Okay, that's called a novation, is what they were doing.
Yeah.
Right. When it doesn't sell. So tell me, you own this property, right? Did you inherit this, or how are you? Tell me how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in a little program because I'm disabled. I also turn in my disability package. The VA seeing that, so they're like, okay, we're on the foreclosure. They want me to make pay for payments, which I'm going to get in the meat and potatoes of. You can either do one or two things. Choose for what you in the step.
Okay.
It's like 33 is the change. Let's just say 33 a month. You be bigger. And then to much just reinstate. What they do, they'll reinstate the loan.
33,000? 30. Okay, so 3,300 gets it current.
Yeah. It's current. That has a little program. One of those things, 2,000, that's backup. Because just running truck, that 50-something truck, divorce, it went to shit. Long story.
102,000. Okay, so you're talking about a modification on the 3,300. Okay, but you're behind. But you're behind 100,000 in back payments. Yeah, but they take the what they do is they put the 102,000 on the back end of it. They add it. So okay, so what will that give the total amount? Like, let's say I did the program, did the 3,300, got it current. Add the 100 grand on the back end of the loan. What's that take the new balance to? That's owed. $553. Okay, so 553. But are you wanting cash on top of that to get out of the deal, or what are you wanting to do?
Want like 12 grand. If I have some tickets that I need to pay, right, and I can do what I need to do. I have $3,200 in tickets I need to pay, and a little bit to walk away. I have the people in there. I've got to go back this weekend and finish cleaning out all the crap.
So it's vacant. So you'll let me take over this loan. I'll be all in at 553 when they add the back payment on. It's only going to cost me 3,300 to bring it current. And then I pay you 12 grand in cash. I'll cover closing fees, and we're done. All right. And what's that interest rate you got it at? It's a 3% loan. Okay. And were you renting it just now, or who was in there just now? Long distance. Yeah.
But like I said, everything I have. Long story short, everybody in there beginning of the month, they didn't pay either. So 1 month they paid February, half of it.
What was that? What was that rent payment supposed to be?
Supposed to be, I had it
Okay, and what's your payment? What will the payment be? Well, when they add that $100,000 on the back end, that just gets added on to principal.
Yeah.
So then you're still paying the original mortgage. What was that original mortgage?
The original mortgage was $468 was the original. And the original mortgage payment.
No, sorry. The monthly. Okay, so let's call it 2,800, and you think market rents are 4,000? Okay.
Everybody wants this land because look at food prices. Everybody wants to get $1,000, working in 9 to 5 to put down.
Well, you're 44 acres, right?
Yeah, 44 acres. I talked to one guy who was coming out this weekend. He said he got something. The bank, even with the 800 credit score, he's still hitting at a 9% interest rate.
Okay. Now, just to be clear, I'm not assuming your loan. I'm taking it over. You understand that, right? Okay. Because there's a big difference. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Okay. Yeah. And I'm looking at these pictures. I mean, it looks a little dated, but it looks totally rent ready, like move-in ready.
There are 3 major things that need to get done. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
The back door has a hole at the bottom. You may want to get more money. I could probably fix that up myself. Hole with the sheetrock.
Okay, but that's all minor stuff. That's punch list kind of stuff. Like there's nothing.
Yeah. The kitchen sink drains low, so I'll go ahead and remove the rooter. Once you pay me, I'll go back in and I'll get sink and it'll be good to go.
And there's a 1 acre pond on this.
There's 1 acre.
Okay, but my nearest. What's the nearest metro? I mean, you said 2.5 Dallas.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Dallas. You want to market Dallas. Houston, they don't want to come up that far, but Dallas is still a little country because the stockyards are there. I'm getting all of my bikes out of Dallas that want this land.
Yeah, because you're in between Dallas and Houston, but you're still closer to Dallas.
You don't want to market Dallas. The problem is they'll drop down. People with money are willing to drop down to Dallas.
Yeah.
And have the rate flat.
Yeah. But just so I'm clear, the market did not want to pay, because you had it at 650 at one time. I mean, what do you realistically think it would sell for? Like, what's the right number for a retail buyer? Like, just shoot straight with me. What would that number be?
They'll probably, they will realistically, as long as the interest rate right, they want to be right around. They really want to be like between
575. Yeah, I mean the Zillow number on this is well, I'm on Redfin. 650 is the Redfin number.
Yeah, you could get with a little love. With a little love, the slap of paint, the new carpet that you use from the Habitat, maybe anywhere from 8 to 15 grand out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, and then like I said, we're putting your everything at 650 now for sure.
Okay, so tell me about this program that does the modification. You would have to do that, and then we do our deal because they're going to want you to probably sign that modification and all that, right?
Modifications.
Okay, so that's ready to go. They're ready to tack that on the back end. Is there any kind of balloon on that, or it would just go on the back end? Did they have a requirement on any of that, or does it just go back onto your? Okay. Okay, so it goes on just on the back end of the mortgage. I mean, that's how those modifications work. Okay. Okay. And why hasn't anybody else jumped on this structure?
Yeah, so I'm a get it done kind of guy. So I got to put it around.
Yeah.
Pretty much just looked around yesterday and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Use my language again. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to post it on Facebook and see what happens. I'm just getting freaking hit left and right.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, my formulated most of this plan that I wanted to do like within the last 24 hours doing some research. My plan was to wait till the freaking market moves and then get it in there. Which I've already talked to a couple of people about that. And then I got free in a few years and then I walk away with the money.
But you're just, yeah, but now you're just done, ready to move on. 12 grand in your pocket gets it out of your hair. Okay. Then I don't see how I could go wrong here. I mean, I think I've got my head around it all. It makes a lot of sense. I think we can easily make this happen. Okay.
I don't know what the hell she's doing. She hasn't even freaking posted it yet. Like telling her, get you on the phone with you. Like, you make the first statement in first three because they need it by the end before the end of the month. The deal is completely done. You make those. You go back to them, lower that payment for you if you need to sit on it for a while, and they can modify it. They can lower that monthly payment.
Yeah. So, okay. Okay. Well, then let's get this done. I'm gonna put together an agreement that spells out. I made some notes here on all this and get this together and get this over to you. I think I've got your email here. Let me just double check. I've got your email. No, I don't. Can you text me it? We were just texting a minute ago. Do you mind texting me your email?
Yeah, I got you. I'm
okay.
I'm gonna put this thing on pending too, so I can stop.
Yeah, get those calls stopped, and then. Now I'm gonna be going out on a limb here because I'm probably going to be releasing the $3,300 before we've closed and funded the rest of it. You know, the deal and the paperwork and the 12K and all that. So I'm just saying I'm going to make a commitment to you, but I need you to make a commitment to me.
That's fine.
Okay.
My commitment to you will be, like I said, if you want to look at it, you can. My commitment to you is I'm going to make sure that it's cleaned out. I'm going to get all this crap out of there. Okay. All of this stuff I've got. If you're looking at any photos online, that's probably 85 to 90% clean from those photos.
Okay.
I'm going to get all this stuff. Make sure everything's good. Speed the process up. Like I said, once you want me, you can call in. My 12,000, I can call in a cleaning lady for $800. It's local. You can come in and completely wipe the entire place down. Okay, perfect. All right. Sounds good, Chris. Okay. Yeah. I have a thing in there that says, you know, broom swept clean, basically, but that's great if you could do that. Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry you had so much trouble with this, but I think this will work. We'll get this done.
Yeah. Let's do it. It's you. I'm taking the pending. I'm putting pending on it now. You let me know what you want to do. I'll be out this weekend. You let me know when you need me out there.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll be in touch with some follow-up stuff here shortly.
All right. That sounds great.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Were you guys not able? I mean, he was in the car again driving, so it's hard to hear.
What did he tell you about the condition of the property?
I'm looking right at the pictures because he just took it down, and it's so he said it needs a hot water heater fix. There's a drywall hole and a back door and the screen back door. Like he just said that's the only thing that's wrong with it. Now it is it does look like original condition. It's got the DO tile and the.
Are you looking at the ones on Realtor.com?
No,
the ones that I put in the private chat.
No, I'm looking at that's hammered. Yeah, but I don't think those are it. That can't be it. Are you
Dude,
talking about?
It says it just got listed. I mean, where did those pictures come from?
I don't know. Look at the Redfin pictures. Look at the same.
No, I think that's when he bought it. I think these are the Novation pictures.
Maybe.
I mean, if you were doing a Novation, which one of these pictures do you think is the Novation pictures? It's the one where it's all empty and there's crap everywhere, right?
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Dude, that's why I was trying to get your attention. I'm like, I'm looking at two pictures, and one is like lived in, and one is lived in.
Yeah, this one's beat to crap. The Realtor.com pictures. There's only two of them here, but there's.
Because what would your exit be on this? Just to kind of wholesale it?
I would wholesale this to some buy and hold guy out of Dallas that likes this stuff, because your entry fee is so low to get into this thing. I mean, he said rents are $4,000. His total mortgage is $2,800 PITI. I'd be getting in with his back payments at $553. The Redfin number is $650. So about $100,000. I don't know what Zillow's got it at, but $100,000 under. But if it needs $50,000 before you can rent it again, that changes it a bit. But he said it's ready, it's move-in ready. So maybe he's cleaned that out. I don't know why, but why would you novate it with these pictures like this? There's stuff on the. I mean, this is like disgusting. These couple of pictures.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know why you would even try to sell this as a novation.
But Jerry,
and he said he'd clean it. So why would you not clean it before you list it like this?
But Jerry, think about it. What is realistically? What is someone's liability on a novation?
None, which is why it fell through 100 times.
Yep. So like,
everybody catch that? He's like wholesalers. Everyone's just trying to do a novation with him.
But he's blaming it on wholesalers.
He's blaming it on wholesalers. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they might be wholesalers too that are doing that. But what people are doing is they're like, let's just throw it up on the MLS as a novation. And what do I care?
What does everybody say? At least everybody that I deal with, when they come into TU, they get their teeth kicked in by sellers that want too much money, which you and I did today, right? We each talked to sellers that want too much money, and then they're hearing it out there on social media that you're just supposed to do a novation on that, or you're supposed to do some form of creative finance. Me and you offered creative finance. Me and you offered novation and sub 2 today. However, when we did that, we also broke down the liabilities that come along with it. Like, I'm telling you right now, I looked at the house that I just talked to about doing a novation. It was 5,000 times better than this. And I was telling that guy, like, hey, I'm nervous about doing a novation. This is embarrassing that this actually got put out there with the stuff that is existing in this house. There's literally just boxes of trash. There's water bottles just sitting on the floor. It's like you didn't even attempt to send someone out there for $200 just to throw away the trash and clean it. The electricity is not even on for the pictures to be taken. It's an embarrassment.
Yeah, you can see the.
I'll be honest with you, Jerry. You know all the regulations that are coming down on wholesaling right now. When do you think the regulations are going to come down on the different forms of creative finance that I think are causing more issues than wholesaling?
Well, a novation falls under equitable interest and is certainly on the chop block and applies to a lot of these laws, whether people are following them or not. Because when you do a novation, you're in essence monetizing on your equitable interest before you own the property. And that's where all the issues come in here. This exact scenario is what's causing regulation. Because think about this. This seller could possibly get harmed tremendously by going into foreclosure because all these people keep promising him stuff that have no skin in the deal. No one's committing anything to him. So, yeah. So, I mean,
no electricity, FedEx envelopes just sitting there. I mean, this is, and then this guy, he said he got strung along. How long did he say the novation? They attempted to novate this.
Well, I mean, his listing goes back into early last year.
Jeez. Look at that.
Yeah, that's definitely not move-in ready. Like he was talking like it looked like the other one, the red.
Well, maybe he did go in and clean it up after this.
Yeah.
I mean, surely he knows this is not move-in ready.
No. But even if it was cleaned out, you're probably looking at a renovation here before you can rent it.
So what do you think here? I mean, is this one of those where you still send the agreement and you go through with due diligence, or is it one of those like you call them back and you say, hey, man, I found these pictures on realtor.com. Is this what it looks like?
While we were talking, I said, hey, is this the current condition? Because this is hammered. This is not, so I'm already calling him out on it. You know what I mean? So
you're like, this is hammered.
That's what I told him. I mean, this guy was shooting straight with me. So I saw someone in the comments put Jerry's mirroring. I was just right back. I mean, there was no, I have to get to the bottom of this stuff. So I had to be curt. I had to just keep asking a question so I understand it. I'm making notes. There's no way of just letting this guy go and you're going to understand what's going on. You got to really take control and push hard to get clear on what he's talking about. And then he did. He sort of like just gave me the information, so if this was move-in ready, this would be a smoking deal to take over for 12 grand, give the guy 12 grand, 30, 3% loan, 100 grand in equity. I could wholesale that all day long to somebody. I wouldn't want it, but I could wholesale it all day long. But if it needs a 50K rehab, it's huge. It's 4,000 square feet. It's a big house.
Yeah, dude, that's going to be and also that's in the country.
It's what did he say from Dallas? 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So when you're,
you've got Longview and Tyler are close, but to get a contractor out there to do that,
forget it, man. Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be rough.
Which is making a lot more sense now. I mean, I even asked him, RJ, I said, why hasn't someone else done this deal? And he basically said, well, I'm just now offering it. But it's like, well, even that's not going to work if someone's got to come put 50 grand just to make this thing. And 50 grand would be get it rent ready. 50 grand wouldn't be retail.
Right.
I mean, you're going to spend 150 if you do everything.
Yeah, I mean,
on 4,000 feet, maybe not 150, but you know what I mean? You're going to be up there.
You'd be pretty close.
At least 125. But I think you got to do this kitchen before you can even rent this. I don't think you can just. You got to
replace the carpet, paint.
Stick on a pig. You got to put some money into this.
Yeah. And my also concern is the drive up. It looks like there's like dirt that's being used as the driveway. I don't know, man. There's a lot of concerns there. I'm curious what it even looks like when you get there. We have a novation that's closing that we did with a TU student this week, and on surface it looked like it was great. It wasn't originally a novation; it was just a wholesale deal, and then with buyer feedback, it was like, well, there's a forever long dirt road that you have to drive on to get there that they're considering the driveway. And it's like, it's horrible, and it's like, there's so many different things that were hidden that you didn't know about until we got out there. That's always a fear of like acreage like this, right?
I would probably tell them, look, before we sign anything, let me get someone out there to get eyes on this thing. Because I'd hate to go through signing a sub 2 contract and all that, then go into due diligence and then find out all this stuff. I don't know. You got anybody that can go from Dallas all the way out there?
No, I don't know anybody that would want to do that. Hey, Bryson, you asked me what would I do, and I said send it to me, and then you hopped on to Jerry's channel and asked him if he has buyers. Come on, brother. Wait, pick and choose. You got to pick one of us. You can't pick both of us. I said send me the deal. I got buyers. Oh, man, I love it. All right, Jerry. Dude, I love doing this with you, man. This is always awesome. It's always a blast.
Can you believe how fast the time goes by?
Well, I can because I'm feeling like I've sat on my butt for 3 hours. I need to stand up like you. I'd be feeling better if I was standing up. I'm ready to like go walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
If outside of that, no, I'm good. Because honestly, dude, I think I only talked to we each spoke to 4 sellers.
I know. There's just a lot of the trying to get on the phone.
Yeah. I just added what's called the Vocaster 2.
Yeah,
Jerry,
I need to get set up with that.
Well, one, you hired Jordan Boyle, who now works for me, but this is what I added. It was tricky. I'm not gonna lie. I struggled with today's live because it was new. So there was volume fluctuations. Like, Jerry, you are extremely quiet for me. Sellers were okay. I know it sounded probably good for y'all, but to me, this was one of the more difficult lives. I was struggling. I got to work with the volume side of it for sure. I might have to start doing
your
headphones.
sellers sounded really good, though. It did not sound like it was coming through your phone and through the podcast mic.
So it is Bluetooth from my cell phone through the Vocaster, so it's inside of the StreamYard now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So we just got that yesterday, and now we're gonna have to work on it a little bit more to make it better. Do we do this often? Right now, Jerry and I are on about a once a month clip. We do have some ideas for other stuff that we want to do together. There's been talks about doing a really long live together. Also, Jerry, later this month, if you are available, I'd like to do another one of those with the other people calling, and then we kind of watch them and coach them.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do that again?
Yeah. Armchair quarterback. I love it.
Yeah. Those are fun because we do just literally. Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you.
He got back and said, what are you seeing? I sent him the link, and he's like, oh, yeah. They left it like that. 85% cleaned. Yeah, but it's still like the cameras, the cabinets are hammered and everything's hammered. So anyway, I'll keep you posted what I end up doing there.
I'd run for the hills. That's my opinion. All right, guys, show us some love. Make sure you like the video. We'll see you guys later.
All right. See you guys.